It's the Papa Safe Podcast.
With your host.
Papa Safe.
And Brass Lantern. Good morning,
Good evening,
wherever you may be coming from.
and wherever you may be going to,
We wish you safe journeys
and safe passage
and welcome you
to the Papa South Podcast.
and the Brass Lantern broadcast
And yes, the Brass Lantern broadcast. It's the Papa South Podcast.
and the Brass Lantern broadcast
We have friends.
everywhere.
All right. Welcome one, welcome all. We welcome you to the Papa South Podcast. And of course, the Brass Lantern broadcast. We're live from coast to coast, continent to continent, coming from Canada and Australia. Again, host, Papa South.
And Brass
Co-host,
Lantern.
there you go. How you doing, Lantern?
I'm good.
Good stuff. Everything good in the world of Down Under?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we got a little bit of a jam-packed show tonight. I know everyone, we're looking forward to doing our watch party of Predator Killer of Killers. We got our Twitter files, which is definitely jam-packed tonight. We're probably going to run a little longer than what we thought. And we got some video game trailers, movie trailers, all sorts of good nerdy stuff to talk about. So with that, excited to get to it. And hey, again, excited to have the live reveal of Brass Lantern. And thank everybody for showing up today. And going to work on that little bit of intro music in there too. But with that said, let's get to our first topic of the day. So we are looking at Andor has officially reached the #1 ranking on the Nielsen streaming charts. Surprises to all sorts
Woo.
of people in the fandom. Sounds like Lantern's excited about that. Do you know what? Probably help too if I actually presented my screen. And so just give me a quick little moment on that. And rumors of my death have been extremely exaggerated after a long week of being sick. So once again, we're looking, Andor has reached the top of the Nielsen charts. Again, a lot of doubters, a lot of haters, but I think they're starting to turn around and really start to see that as a quality product. What's your thoughts on why it's finally reached the top? Do you think it was marketing? Do you think it was quality writing? What's your thoughts on that, Lantern?
Oh, all of the above. I think people were also waiting for it to all be out and then they just binge watched it.
Yeah, totally makes
It's
sense.
very bingeable.
Is a bingeable series, and I, to your point, I think you're right. A lot of people, I think nowadays, will sit back on a series, wait for the whole thing to wrap up before they watch it. Do you think possibly like the last 6 to 3 episodes kind of helped push it over the field goal marker to speak?
Oh yeah, for sure. The last 3 episodes were intense. Like that, they told the story really quickly.
Absolutely agree with that.
And 931 million minutes during the week of the final episode. That's insane.
Yeah, I can't think of
That's huge numbers.
can't think of a single show that's like reached anywhere even close to that. It's a big win for KK. I know we'll be discussing later her person to follow up. Do you think this might buy her a little bit of time before she exits, or do you think she's going to exit as scheduled?
I don't think she'll exit as scheduled. I reckon she'll stay until at least the end of the year.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably longer.
Agreed. Yeah, I think this is a huge win for her. And yeah, definitely could lengthen her stay a little bit. Maybe give her a chance to sink her claws into Filoni's the follow-up, spoiler alert, but a little more control over the people taking over her position. That would be my
Yeah.
thoughts on that.
I think she'll probably greenlight a bunch of projects before she leaves as well.
Yeah, kind of like the big F you, I'm doing what I want before I
Yeah.
go. Yeah, I'm gonna spend your money while I got the chance. Do you think we might wind up seeing more adult kind of driven content from Star Wars,
I
Lucasfilm
really
going
hope
forward?
so.
Yeah, hope so too. If you had to give like a percentage of a chance, what do you think? Like,
It's a low chance, but I think they might try and do another show similar to Andor, kind of in the same vein where it's aimed at a more mature demographic.
for sure. Although I don't got the article for today because again, like we got a lot to go through. I know Book of Boba Fett season 2 isn't necessarily done. Do you think that might be one of the projects that they rework to be a little more adult, or like Sopranos, Penguin?
Mm, I don't think so. Like, Book of Boba Fett was popular with a lot of teenagers, from what I heard.
Especially ones driving brightly colored scooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, yeah. And ones that like to do fancy little twists around as they're firing it off
Oh,
their
and the mopeds.
you got her. You got her. Yeah, I would definitely hope that we could see a little bit more of adult content. I know in past streams we talked about possible horror content coming from Star Wars, and
Mm.
I feel like there is an audience for it. And I just kind of, like I said,
Well,
might
Andor's proof that there's a huge audience for it.
100% on that, right? There is a huge audience for the more adult content. I would hope that they. It's a big hope, right? I might be smoking some copium, but like, man, that like I just do not want to see him go back to all the kiddie stuff. Obviously, that's hurt their brand. Don't get me wrong. The last show that they just had that was kind of like Goonies in outer space. The name's escaping me right at the moment. It did a lot
Oh,
better
what
than
was
number.
that?
You know the one I'm talking about, though.
I know. Yeah, what was
Jude
it called
Law.
though? Yeah, Jude Law.
Apparently the numbers weren't as bad as it looked. It's kind of like Andor, where it picked up steam after everything was released. That said, like I said, the writing, the thought put into we got a little hello from podcast Patti here. Hello to you both. Hello, Papa South, also known as my best friend. Congrats, Team South, to reaching 200 subs. And thank you so much, Podcast Patti. You've been our producer and team supporter since the very beginning of when we were first Nerd North. We couldn't have reached that milestone without you. We definitely appreciate it. Love you very much. Thanks for popping in to say hello. And definitely, we'll look forward to talking to you a little later. Make sure you have yourself a wonderful night. Give Miggy and Oreo some rubbies for me. Thanks for popping in, Patti. And yeah, again, hoping that a little more adult content is on the way. So to the naysayers of the Andor series, and I know there's a lot of them, don't be surprised if this is partially the future. We know that if Mando, the movie, Mando and Grogu does not do well in the theaters, that is the end of the run for the Mandoverse. And at that point, they might have to look for a little bit more adult content. Do you think, just on a personal note, do you think Mando's going to sink or going to swim?
Oh, I reckon it's a 50-50 chance. It's either going to do really well or really bad.
Fair enough.
There's no middle ground for that.
No, zero middle ground. I think that
Let's call it like it is. People probably are going to get some Pedro Pascal fatigue at this point.
I know I already got it. And I wouldn't even be surprised if people start to get the little Grogu fatigue. Don't get me wrong. By the time the movie releases, it will have been a good few years since they've seen him. But at this point, there's always going to be something shiny and new that the kids want. And Kind of like everybody's Tamagotchi that's hiding away in their drawers right now that they're never going to touch again. I think, yeah, I do think that after that movie comes out and sinks, Lucasfilm definitely has to start taking a look at what they can do to revive their product. I know they with the Darth Maul animated series that is slated to come out. I want to say it's next year. That's supposed to have a bit more of an adult twist on it, and just like our watch party a little later, maybe that's the future right there. Starting off with some adult animated content and see what type of audience they can bring up for that. Agreed?
Yeah. I do like Darth Maul as a character, but he's one of those characters I wish just stayed dead.
Not going to disagree with you, Lantern. I think a lot of people probably do feel that way. Maul was just such an amazing character, and they brought him back to life now like 10 times or something like that. And if it was obviously a big miss just to toss him aside in the first episode. That something seems to be a Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm kind of thing to do. But never forget, Riva is still out there in the Star Wars universe somewhere. So, and do you know, like, whether we ever eventually get like an Obi-Wan season 2 or something like that, that would have been served a lot better if they would have went with a little bit more of an adult twist on that, because that just felt a little too kiddie for my liking.
That was the show that completely killed Star Wars hype for me.
That's a great point. I believe other than Andor, like, that's when I checked out with Star Wars. I was just like, you did it to me. I know this might be blasphemy. I'm not even a giant fan of Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan when it first came out.
I don't really like him as Obi-Wan either.
Cool. Yeah. When it first came out, I think like everyone was like, oh yeah, look, it sounds like him, looks like him. It's just like, and all these years later, I'm like, no, it doesn't really look like Alec Guinness. Doesn't really sound like him. And the fact that, do you know what? The hello there kind of killed it for me. It's like Obi-Wan didn't need a catchphrase. So,
but it's a hilarious meme.
It's a great meme, right? But at the end of the day, Star Wars, stop it with your catchphrases and kiddie kind of content. Speaking of things that are not for the kids, we're going to talk a little Mortal Kombat 2 and oh man, let me make sure. Nope, my links are just all over tonight. Here we go. All right, we're talking a little Mortal Kombat 2. I just got 2 quick articles on this one here. First trailer for Mortal Kombat 2 is set to release this July. I believe the movie is slated for next summer. Obviously, we got Carl Urban coming in as Johnny Cage in this one. So kind of hype for. What's your hype level for Mortal Kombat 2?
I haven't seen the first one.
The first one as in the first new remake of it?
Or is this... Yeah, the first new remake of it. If
you weren't missing much.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. This one, they did promise to actually have the tournament in it. That was one thing that was missing from the first one. Obviously, the ones from the 90s with Christopher Lambert as Raiden were just god awful and campy. And but were you a fan of the Mortal Kombat series?
Not particularly.
No, never really gamed.
I always saw it as like, that's a boys' game.
Well, yeah, it kind of was a boys' game. Is there anything in particular you'd like to see from this trailer?
I do like Carl Urban, so that's a bonus.
He is soft on the eyes. That's for sure. And he's a neighbor of yours, just down across the pond in New Zealand there. So definitely love the Carl Urban. To me, as far as like a trailer goes, obviously you want to see a lot of action, fighting, stuff like that. Something that seems a little bit more
Some
video.
nice costumes.
Yeah, 100%. And I will say in the remake, that is one thing I found that they did really, really well was costume design. So if they can keep that up, I'd be super stoked to see that. I definitely want something that's a little more video game accurate, definitely than the 90s version. But and I think in the fandom, it doesn't matter whether it's a video game, a comic book, or something. People do want to see that accuracy from. Uh, I'll be honest. One thing I never liked about Captain America's suit, like I liked his first one in the Avengers, and I know it was spandex, but still I thought it was a little more accurate compared to what we got later on down the road with that. Um, So
They just made everything really dark looking. Like there was no real bright colors.
agreed. And honestly, that was one thing I hated about the original X-Men series, the black leather suits.
Yeah, I hated that too. Where was
I
the
know.
bright yellow?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like that's Wolverine, Deadpool. Like that's what we wanted to see. Don't get me wrong. I thought they kind of blew it on Wolverine's mask. That said, maybe just the white eyeballs when you have like the flesh tone chin coming under it doesn't really quite work. But yeah, I remember seeing that first X-Men with my mom in the theater, and everybody was just like, oh, this is like the greatest thing in the world, and I just walked away hating it. But
They were the goth X-Men.
yes, they were
The emo X-Men.
they were all sad and upset and hated their parents. And and I'll just remember just as one thing is like from being from Canada, I forget what the line was, but like Wolverine comes up and he's just like, well, forget that, I'm from Canada. And like that theater just erupted, and like my eyes rolled back so far in my head that I could see the people sitting behind me. Yeah, please, Marvel, don't try to cater to us here in Canada with the campy Wolverine, I'm from Canada thing. Mortal Kombat 2. The fights, the fatalities, the surprises, the deaths, I think we nailed it. Audiences cheered, jumped up, jumped out of their seats. This is something I'm starting to hear with a lot of shows and movies. It's an Avengers Endgame type of feeling. So right off the bat, do you really think anybody could recapture that feeling of Endgame again?
I highly doubt it. It took them 20-something movies to get to that point.
Yeah.
Also, in my opinion, Endgame is like the weakest of all of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I loved Infinity War. That was great. Oh, maybe Age of Ultron. I think that's probably the weakest, and then Endgame.
Yeah. Age of Ultron was especially with Vision being able to blast away all the Ultron bots with his like head, and then when anything else comes up, he's just like he forgets he has that power and could end things real damn quickly. Fair enough. I saw Endgame twice in the theater in the same day. Not because I bought 2 sets of tickets. I had a set of tickets. I had a cousin call me up, and he was just like, my wife bailed on me. Do you want to go? I was just like, yeah, sure. Why not? Did it have its moments? Yeah. Was it a great film? Does Papa South really like any film? All right. But at the same time, like I said, I've seen so many things come out where people are starting to say, oh, this is an end game type event, and at the end of the day,
you have to do a lot of work to make it an end game type event.
I think, like you said about Andor and the writing in it in a previous stream, you got to do a lot of heavy lifting to get there.
Mm.
Um, that said, though, like, could I see the crowd saying, "Yeah, we did go nuts because Sub-Zero chopped off some guy's head and crushed his spine," and
Mm.
I popped a lot of quarters into Mortal Kombat growing up, and I think as long as like you get quality fight scenes, a good amount of gore. That's one thing with the remake. I'll give them credit to. They did have some gore in there, but I
Some
think
good quality costumes as well that are
absolutely.
representative of the games.
And I know you're all about the costumes, and you know what, like, and that's not to make a chuckle or anything, but that does make a huge difference
Mhm.
in the film, right? Like, you don't want to walk into Mortal Kombat and feel like somebody's like wearing a Halloween costume from the 80s where like they'll have the Sub-Zero mask and then they'll like say Sub-Zero with a picture of Sub-Zero doing some karate pose on the suit there. But fingers crossed, definitely has the potential to be a great popcorn movie. Um, I'm a firm believer in like you cannot go wrong with just crazy karate and
Mm.
good things. Although we'll touch base on the ballerina later, and that could prove Papa South's case wrong. But Mortal Kombat, yeah, great one. Like I said, quarter popper as a kid growing up. The video game definitely changed the video game market, I think, for the better. The movies have been a little lackluster, though, to say the least. And the first remake was definitely not great. Although I just have found out, I know I mentioned in the last couple weeks I've been watching this series called Shogun. So disappointed. I hate it when like you catch a series and you're already late on it, and then it's like the next season isn't going to come out until 2027. But
Yeah.
uh one of the main characters is the guy who plays Scorpion. So I'll definitely go into this one with a little more hope now that I've seen that. And for anyone who hasn't seen Shogun, it's on Disney Plus. If you're into subtitles and into shows with natural lighting where you really got to squint to see what's going on, that one is for you. That said, things that are for me, I'm a Christmas boy. I love my Christmas. Anybody that knows me sees all my Christmas pictures, my Christmas tree, my Christmas movie countdown. This year we will definitely, if you're up for it, Lantern, do a couple of maybe Halloween watch parties, a little Christmas
Mm-hmm.
watch parties, and we'll both get our top tens going on for best of all time. Now that I'm just thinking about that, but again, Papa South is a Christmas guy, and I know we're in the middle of the summer. That not for Brass Lantern. What time is it for you right now?
1 p.m.
The season.
Right in the middle of the day. Oh, season, we're in winter.
We're in winter. Isn't that crazy? We got our summer going here. It's like 20 degrees. She got her winter going there. And how many degrees was it there today?
7.
7.
It was -4 overnight.
Wow. Poor little like koalas and kangaroos hopping in their mama's pouches to keep warm. That's for sure. 7. Believe me, there are days in the winter where I would take 7 here when it's like -20. But
Yeah.
that's a
Doesn't
little.
quite get that cold here in winter.
That's just it. Uh,
We get crazy hot summers though, like 38, 40-degree days.
Wow, that is pretty freaking hot. Like, we usually peak out around 30. Like, if you have a really bad, we'll call it humidex day, you might hit 35. But for sure, I definitely wouldn't want to have to deal with a 40-degree day.
And it's dry too, so it's not humid where I am.
Do you know
It's like
what?
a desert day.
A desert day. I have heard that the dry heat's a lot better than the humid heat, but
I'm not really a summer person. I actually personally really like winter.
Yeah, it's a lot more comfortable for sure, and
Mm.
it's easier to layer it up than it is to take things off. I do apologize to the crowd today. Like I said, it's looking like it's funny you have your tabs all set up at the top, and the next thing you know, when you're actually going to go present your screen, uh, doesn't quite work out that way. But first trailer, it's a whole lot of stuff to present today. I'm gonna cancel that out for a second, just make sure this thing is actually popping up there. It is there. There we go. We'll do a little song or dance for us, Lantern, while I'm struggling the way here to find my working with the mouse today as well. This is first time Papa said
Oh, yeah.
finally got a new USB port, and I'll tell you right now, it has
Easier than using the trackpad on a laptop.
easier than using the trackpad, but at the same time, I'll tell you right now, Papa South loves his Papa South sunglasses, but it's a hot one down here tonight, and I'll tell you right now,
It looks like you're sitting right in front of the sun.
yeah, that's what it feels like with this light on me right here. Da, da, da. Discussing film. And of course, it was the one at the very top. Again, back into Christmas mode. Here we go. Robert Edgers is set to write and direct a new Christmas Carol movie for Warner Brothers, who just did a split with Discovery just after merging last year. I guess the HBO Max didn't quite work out the way that they've planned to. I know CNN has tanked it as well, which probably didn't help that cause any, as they are brought to you by Warner Brothers Discovery. But that's neither here or there. We are looking at Willem Dafoe as a top choice to play Ebenezer Scrooge. I got my thoughts on it. Lantern?
Well, Willem's a phenomenal actor. Anything that he's been in, he just does a really good job of it. And if he's going to look anything like this picture here, I think it'll be really good.
Agreed. He is something of a Scrooge himself. To kind of play on the Spider-Man meme there. I'm huge on this Christmas Carol. One of my favorite movies. That's the first one I watch every Christmas morning, like bright and early, like at 5 a.m. I think he'd be a great choice for it. He's seasoned enough. He's aged enough to play a Scrooge, and I think he has the right personality. I've seen him in lots. I guess the last thing I saw him in was Lighthouse.
I was about to say that, yeah.
How
It's
did you
probably
like?
the best Robert Pattinson film ever made.
Agreed. I thought that was a really well done film. Loved the stylization of it, and yeah, see a bit of a not to say he hasn't done it before, but a grumpier Willem Dafoe. I definitely feel like they could pull off a good Scrooge with this Christmas Carol. I would hope that it is set back in the early 1800s and not like
Like
no
a
offense to
modern day, yeah.
yeah, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Uh, no offense to Bill Murray, right? But it's just like, yeah, if you're doing Christmas Carol or anything else that's supposed to be set in a certain time period, keep it in that time period. But big Willem Dafoe fan. If guys want a funny little Papa South story, before we get into the next article. Speaking of Willem Dafoe, there was a point where I absolutely hated him. I was just like, I can't even like look at him on the screen.
Can't stand him.
Yeah. So the guy who does our music, the Resonator, I was friends with his older brother, who's Technotions, who does a lot of our sound production, and I really, really wanted to hang out with like the Resonator at the time, just because, like, I thought it was like I'm feeling good things from this like young lad right here, right now. Not young lad as in he was a boy, right? But like I was probably like early 20s, and he was just like mid-teens or whatever. So it's like, let's go see Spider-Man together, the one with Tobey Maguire, and he's like, I don't know about that, and I was just like. And I knew he loved Willem Dafoe. And I was just like, but buddy, I love Willem Dafoe. Wouldn't that be a great way to click right off the bat? And I eventually convinced him to go see the movie, which is great. And I remember confessing to him after it was done, I was like, I hate Willem Dafoe. And that look on his face, like, you lie.
Liar.
Yeah, exactly. Liar. But hey, do you know what? After all those years, we still have a wonderful friendship. And brother, if you're working tonight, I think you are working tonight, but when you watch this later, love you much. Thanks for all that you do for our channel as well. Tis appreciated. But yeah, looking forward to a little Christmas time with Willem Dafoe. It probably won't be out till next Christmas, but it'll definitely be something I think I would watch every Christmas. Not sure about yourself, but I guess we will see. Now, I heard that you got an article yourself to present today.
Let me just.
No problem. The floor is
try
yours.
and get that working.
I'll do a little jazz hands, song and dance while she's going. It's the Papa Seth and Brasslander broadcast show. This is what being live is all about, everybody. We do appreciate you sticking through some of our flaws there and some of our hiccups, but there is something. There we go. The floor is yours.
Alrighty, so we've got Star Wars fans are convinced Andor Season 2 is secretly one Mandalorian's character's origin story. So, Season 2 concluded with significant cameos. Is that Cara Dune?
Is that Cara Dune? Okay, I actually saw a bit of an article about that earlier. Or I think it was Star Wars Mag I was watching, and
yeah, I mean, as it says here, it's a blink and you might miss it sort of Mandalorian's Cara Dune, but you know, it works with the time frame. She's wearing the same type of outfit. It would work for the age of her character as well.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if it's a clever nod more than it is an actual cameo. I guess, as the kids would say, an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Like you said, timeline works out. The outfit kind of works out. But that said, how many people in the Star Wars universe wear that kind of the karate,
yeah, that's true.
The karate gi type of outfit, right? It's like there is somebody out there making a killing on those outfits, and unless you have the resources like a Mon Mothra, maybe that's really all that's available to the women, unless they want to wear the Jedi gi, of course.
The thing is, I was thinking about this too. If Tony Gilroy had said, yeah, look, I'm going to put a tiny little Cara Dune Easter egg in there, I think the higher-ups would have been like, we don't like Gina Carano. You can't do that.
Excellent point. Excellent point. We didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're on the money with that lantern. And I think, you're probably 100% right, where, they would... And until I don't know if her court case is done yet. But that's something that they probably would have.
It's still in the works from what I've been reading.
Yeah. So that definitely would have been a big no-no, and then a lot easier to, like I said, just have more of a clever nod in there.
It's possible though.
And isn't that the fun of a lot of the fandom world, Star Wars, MCU, whatever it is, where you can just put a little something like that and leave it up to the imagination of the viewer.
Yeah. So in this article as well, they were talking about having a Princess Leia cameo and a bunch of other ones, and I'm so glad that wasn't in there.
Absolutely. The last, I guess she wouldn't have been like 7 years old or whatever it was like in the Obi-Wan series. Yeah,
Terrible.
or maybe getting recasted like Bail Organa did. Well,
That worked
obviously,
out really well though with Bail Organa.
yeah. Benjamin Bratt. I confessed in their last session there that in that last episode, he finally sold me on the Bail Organa. I think the most I could have dealt with a Leia cameo if it was something like this, or it was just like a quick shoulder rub. You saw like one little hair bun go by, and
Yeah, or it was like a little hologram of her.
yeah, definitely could have dealt with that. Definitely could
Yep.
have dealt with that. Her crossing a Coruscant with a R2 or something like that. But yeah.
Is there anyone that you would have really liked to have seen in season 2 of Andor?
100%. I think we talked about this on one of our streams. I can't remember his name. He's played by Danny Yen. I'm one with the Force is with me.
Oh yeah, yep.
I would have killed to see him pop up in the show. I think he was, I don't want to say he was one of the better parts of Rogue One, because overall that whole movie was a quality movie. I just think he was a very quality character. And like, other than your quick Darth Vader cameo, I think he was that kind of perfect little blend of kind of touching on Jedi and mystical kind of powers without going all in and having a Jedi companion.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I really wanted to see Galen Erso.
Yeah, the Mads
Him
Mikkelsen.
working on the Death Star plans, that would have been a nice little tidbit.
100%. And like, even if it was just like them checking in on like another room through like a security camera or something like that.
Yeah, and he's just in there and doing some designing.
Yeah.
Or if they walk past a window and he's just in there doing something.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. The random window lookings, But could have actually worked out really, really good during the Clea episode where she had to take out Luthen. Because there was a lot of rooms with windows in there, and maybe just a quick little look in, and then on her way with her not being any wiser to what that was. Or do you know what?
Or even if someone was scrolling on some type of text pad or a computer and they come past, like Galen Erso's working on the Stardust project.
Yeah. Do you know what I also would have been a season 1 cameo where they're in the jail working on the pieces for the Death Star, and maybe him walking by, taking a quick look in the room, and then
doing an inspection on how their work's coming across.
Yeah. That great minds think alike. Great article, by the way. Appreciate it. And look forward to all sorts of other Lantern articles in the future. And really, really good job on that one. Lots of fun. And again, very well could have been Cara Dune. So I was about to say Gina Carrero, same person, but keeping it in the world where it is. But yeah, that was just awesome. I'm seeing a little circly thingy going on there. Where is my... Oh, that would be why. Desktop. Just before we go any further, quick word from our sponsor, Triple R Recycling. Are you in the Edgerton, Ohio area, United States, within like a 40-mile radius? Do you have a scrap that needs to be removed? Do you need a storage unit that needs clearing out? Maybe a fence need being taken down, anything like that? Reliable Rick Richardson, he's your guy. Economy's hurting down there right now. It would really help out his family. Again, if you have the work, he has lots of rave reviews. I know him personally. I would definitely hire him in the heartbeat. American made, American strong. You can reach him at junk_man4060 at yahoo.com. Again, that's junk_man4060 at yahoo.com. Again, if you got a storage unit that needs some clearing, scrap metal that needs out of your yard, maybe a little bit of handiwork. He does a lot of great work with the community. He gives back. In his last couple of hauls, when the tornadoes hit down, I believe it was in Kentucky, he donated almost everything he made from that to those people when he could be using it himself during those hard economic times down there for him. So again, if you're looking for scrap to be removed, storage units cleared, handyman work, reliable Rick Richardson is your guy at junk_man4060 at yahoo.com. 40-mile radius of the Edgerton, Ohio area. Fantastic. Well, all things going forward with the DCU, as it seems. I know they have a 6-year plan, I believe it is, to kind of get to an Avengers style movie. And obviously Superman's around the corner. But before
It's nice that they have a plan.
it seems to be something the MCU has been lacking as of late. As we've discussed in prior shows, with Endgame, it seems like they're just kind of winging it, and like I don't think that's much of a plan. But that said, breaking from DCU The Direct, James Gunn has announced that a new Wonder Woman movie is now in development. If it's in development, from everything I have read about James Gunn as of lately, that means they have a script that's pretty much locked in. There could be some changes to it, obviously, but his mantra right now is like he doesn't want to announce anything unless they have like a director and a script that's pretty much complete.
Are they still using Gal as Wonder Woman?
So that they have not announced yet who
Okay.
is going to be their Wonder Woman. I personally feel that they should veer away from anything Snyderverse related. Director,
she looked like Wonder Woman but didn't act like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Yeah, she looked like her, didn't really act like her. So was one of my questions to you was just going to be like, if you're casting Wonder Woman, do you have anybody in mind for it?
Oh, I've never really thought long and hard on it. They'd probably have to go for a younger actress so they can get as many years out of it as possible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who would do a good Wonder Woman.
Now, that said, I know I just said, like, I think they should stick away from, like, you know, all things prior to that. But with Momoa coming back as Lobo, if you're going to take somebody and, like, recast them as a different character, although I'll admit, I think I've only seen, like, half of the first one. There's the girl from Shazam that, her name wasn't Wonder Woman, but she was kind of like the Shazam girl, and obviously with that blank look on Lantern's face, she's like,
Yeah.
no idea. But guys, you know who I'm talking about. I thought she was a really, really good fit for the role. She's still young, but again, maybe still getting a little long.
Hey, if they want to make it really popular, just cast Sydney Sweeney as Wonder Woman.
There you go. Give her the black wig. Put her in the old Linda Carter Wonder Woman outfit, and tickets galore, no doubt of that. Again, me personally, I was never a Sweeney fan, but to your point, is she going to sell tickets? I have no doubt of that. Um, I would only speculate you're probably another 2 years away from this movie coming out, anyways. And in the meantime, they still got the lanterns to deal with, and as we will be touching base on after this article, they still have to deal with the Batman, and the Batman is obviously the other flagship character across from Superman when it comes to the DCU. Um, I guess we'll find out. Again, depending on when they get filming, even Sweeney might be a little bit long in the tooth at that point. I heard Daisy Ridley ain't doing anything, but
no, thank you.
yeah, exactly. No, thank you. But again, like you said, at least they have a plan, and it's gonna be moving forward. And I guess we'll see how that turns out for Miss Wonder Woman. And speaking of the DC Trinity, we also have news on everybody's favorite flagship character, the Batman. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, this one's coming from Culture Crave via at EW. Not sure who they are. I just bookmark these as I see them as we go along throughout the week. James Gunn says the Batman 2 is really important to what they're trying to build at DC. We're supposed to see that script shortly, and I can't wait. So in the previous show, I think it was our last one, we were talking about, is this thing dead in the water? Matt Reeves is gone.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to get made, but
so
happy to be wrong.
Fair enough. So this is my question about this for you is, do you think it could still be dead in the water and they're just going to retool the story to fit more of a James Gunn-esque universe, brighten it up a little bit?
I think if they do it moving forward, they'd probably just keep all the original actors they had in the first movie and just get James Gunn to direct what's already been written for it.
Fair enough. Do you think he's totally going to stylize it in a way that he would like compared to how it was?
He'd probably want to, but the way that it was it was very dark, which is fine, but yeah, I think he'll probably put a little spin on it, put his own comedy in there and
fair enough.
His gun flavoring on it.
Do you think it's to stay in its own universe, or do you think he's going to try to work it so he can cross it over into like a the thing I see popping up all the time is a world's finest type thing where he can pair him up with the David Corenswet's Superman?
No, I think they'll try and work it all together. It's a rich tapestry.
It is a rich tapestry. So I'm of two worlds on this. I think it's like, man, we're still like Nerd North. I did like a video on this where they are definitely, although we haven't seen the Superman, but just based on what we know and what we've seen already, they are two very different worlds that technically do not mesh or do not blend. Now, when the DCU was originally announced, and apparently the Lanterns show will deal with this a little bit, there is supposed to be some sort of like kind of multiversal twist, because I guess that was the hype at the time, because that's where Marvel was going. So my complaint with the MCU's version of the multiverse is everything feels very much the same, where in a true multiverse, you'd have people coming from different universes where the tones are different. Um,
Mm,
you know, and I think that could be a real interesting way to pull in a character to be like, hey, how would a Matt Reeves Batman react being pulled into a James Gunn kind of world? So
yeah, I get what you're saying.
oh, I think that'd be interesting if they went with it that way. Now, if James Gunn did the Batman light, so to speak, I think he could make it work.
Yeah,
Um, hmm, it's that I wasn't big on Pattinson's Bruce Wayne.
mm.
I liked his Batman. Um, how are you feeling about a more goofy Pattinson?
He doesn't do goofy well.
No, he hardly sparkles well, let alone doing goofy. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think he's more of a serious tone actor
Yeah,
as well, more with the
he does
dramatic.
that dark seriousness quite well,
Yeah,
actually, especially if you consider The Lighthouse as an example.
100%. Did you ever see Tenant?
Yes, I loved him in Tenet. That was good.
Agreed. Um,
That was probably the most light-hearted Pattinson we had ever seen, and he did that well.
yeah, and even then, he
It was still very serious.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, so I guess we'll see how that blends, how that works out, and you know, I have faith in James Gunn's DCU. Um, I don't have the magic wand in this world, but I'd still be keeping that separate and just trying to cast their own Batman
Yeah.
uh, for their own universe. Well, going into the world of the MCU, Agatha all along has officially been green lit for season 2. Did you see the first season of Agatha all along?
I watched one episode.
You got a lot further than I did. I got
Hmm.
about 5 minutes into it.
Oh, there's a note underneath it. Agatha all along has not been renewed yet. Yes,
Well, there we go. Community notes, everybody.
it's been
Uh,
noted.
uh, Lantern, you might have just saved the day for all of us. So, not greenlit yet. I know we were discussing the other week about no major heroes being in any MCU show going forward or major characters. I don't know if I'd consider her major. Um, I think we both agreed we weren't a fan of WandaVision. No. So,
The first one or two episodes, I really liked how they stylized that.
yep.
That was awesome. And then moving forward from there, it just went straight downhill.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. So, look at that again. Lantern saving the day. No Agatha along season 2 so far. I don't. I know they're moving into the world of magic and stuff like that. I'm sure they could have some tie-ins that benefit to that, but overall, I don't. There was nothing appealing about that
Mm.
to me, and let's hope them community notes are right. And well, sticking with the magic, right when you thought you seen Riri Williams do it all by just trying to remake the Tony Stark Iron Man story, how could she one up it? Oh boy. Based on the new trailer, which we have slashed for tonight just because we do have a bit of a night ahead still. How are we feeling about Riri Williams
Why?
having
Why are they doing this?
that should sum it up for you folks? Why? Yeah, I'm with you on this,
Did they
Lantern.
I think the character could stand on their own two legs. Like,
And it's funny, like I said, they did drop a new trailer, and now they're dropping that she has the magic suit. And a few weeks ago, it seemed like this was like something that they were trying to shove under the rug and hope nobody was going to notice. But it looks like somebody, Kevin Feige, we're looking at you, Kevin Feige.
someone had to teach her the mystic arts for her to understand this. So who's going to be that person? She couldn't have just learnt it on her own.
I wonder if she has some type of like AI Doctor Strange in her heads up like Jarvis. But
It's
uh,
Wong.
it's Wong, yeah. Agatha a la Wong. Wah, wah. But yeah, I didn't even think about that, and like you're 100% right. Like, ain't no, well, they're gonna do it for her, but it's not like you're learning all that magic overnight. And how you even incorporate magic into your suit. Now, I do know we're finally getting our first look at Mephisto in this, and obviously there's going to be some magic buffoonery going on in there. So I think this is an asinine idea. So we're agreed
Yeah,
on
giving
this.
her that type of magic takes away from Doctor Strange's whole character arc, learning the arcane arts.
Yeah. Do you think they're doing this just to give her a push, hoping people are going to find her to be more important than what she is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think anyone's still going to even bother watching the show?
No. I mean, you've got people out there who just go and see everything that Marvel brings out.
Yep. It's
But they're not a big crowd. It used to be a massive crowd.
yeah, 100%. So you got the diehards that no matter what, they will, like you said, they'll see everything that you can. I think there's also another demographic out there that will try to give her the push anyways, just for representation. But I think this one's gonna fall about as flat as it can get, and this is just another attempt to hype up something that let's be honest, not a whole lot of people are interested in. And speaking of things people are not interested in, we are talking Thunderbolts and the ballerina. Here we go, folks. What happened to the killer babes? Exactly as said, it was learned that the female audiences didn't show up for both the Thunderbolts and the ballerina. Two movies that were supposed to be fairly big blockbusters, pushing strong whammon, as they like to say on the internet. To my point earlier where I said, like, if you generally put some crazy karate on a screen, people are going to go and see it. But at this point, the ballerina has absolutely bombed. A Keanu Reeves cameo couldn't even save this one. Do you think we're just at that point of oversaturation of...
Yeah. This type of character has been done to death in the last 15 years.
And as a male, I could say, like, as a male audience, it seems like it's is pushy the right word? Where they're kind of trying to force like a strong female character on you.
The only strong female character I've ever actually believed was Gina Carano in The Mandalorian, because she is a strong female.
I'm glad you said that.
She's not this 5'2", 100-pound girl.
Roll with it. Go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like Gina Carano had a great background with, I think it was wrestling, wasn't it?
Like
UFC.
Yeah, UFC, mixed martial arts.
She actually looks the part of a strong female character, whereas most of the other ones we've seen in the last 10 years, they've been these tiny, petite little women somehow beating men that are 3, 4, 5 times their size.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Uh, you couldn't have said it any better. Um, I'm going back like way back there, but like if you look at something like Red Sonja from the '80s, which was a follow up to Conan the Barbarian series, um, great example, strong female character, but it
She was
was
buff.
she was buff. But it wasn't totally in your face, right? It was
Hmm.
like, she'd defeat an enemy or whatever. She didn't have a one liner about like, hey, never send a man to do a woman's job or something like that. Or even in we've had a couple iterations of Tomb Raider. I didn't find those all too offensive or
Mm.
in your face either. Um, Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia, strong female characters.
Hmm.
Uh, Andor had tons of strong female characters in
Yeah.
there, both good and bad, right? But it was never quite in your face. Um, and to your point again, right? Like, I know going to see the movies and such, you guys suspend your belief a little bit, but again, 105-pound soaking wet woman taking
Yeah.
on like a 300-pound guy, it's just not happening.
Unless they have some type of super mutant power or they've got, I don't know, some kind of special ability.
Yeah, go like a Wanda
Yeah,
Maximoff
like a Wanda.
or any of the X-Men women or whatever.
Yeah, Jean Grey, my favorite.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna have to get you that Marvel Girl mask one day. But, um, but yeah, right. Like you said, with the exception of anybody that has a special superhuman power, so to speak of, um, yeah,
It just doesn't seem too believable.
yeah. In fairness, I know a lot of people hated the Rey character, and maybe it's because I have nieces that I saw inspired by her.
Mm.
I think it was more about the writing around the character, but again, uh, I'm not sure if you can say that's really where it started, but definitely there was like a major push at that point, push female characters forward, even if it's not too believable. And again, this is why these movies sink and don't do too well at the box office. Things that have done well on the small screen, though, that are coming to an end. This one saddens me to know it's coming to an end. Eric Kripke says he's terrified about making sure the boys series finale is good. Um, he makes a great point. You can count in one hand, maybe two hands, the truly great series finales. The graveyard is literally filled with terrible,
Hmm.
terrible season finales. I think one that did it for a lot of people was The Sopranos, where they just kind of cut to a black screen at the end. Seinfeld, God bless everybody in Seinfeld, but like one of the worst series finales that I have ever.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Tell me a little bit about the Game of Thrones series finale. I never got into it. I've heard lots of people talk about it. How did that one finish off?
With the one character who never should have been made king of the whole realm. Lots of characters changed the way that they would make decisions. Pretty much, they just put the exact opposite to what people wanted to see for an ending.
Which, and I
They
get
ran
it.
out of book content for that show seasons ago.
Fair enough. So, yeah, it was a series based on a series of books, but again, they got ahead of the books and then kind of ran out of ideas.
Or they just forgot about so many different plot points that they had set up as well.
And yeah, I've seen that in a lot of shows. Some people would even say Andor a little bit guilty of it, with the sister plot and stuff like that, where although they still managed to tie up their show just fine. Writing a good show is one thing, bringing it to an end is definitely a really hard one. Do you watch The Boys at all?
Mm-mm.
No.
I've been
Oh.
waiting for it all to be out before I binge it all.
All right, fair enough.
I'm one of those people.
You're the binger, one of those people. Not wrong with that at all. A really, really good, entertaining series. I know there was a lot of pushback about the last series, last season. People thought it was a little political, tried to mirror like the world of Trump and stuff like that. I didn't find that, to be honest, but maybe just I love Anthony Starr as Homelander and Carl Urban as the Butcher so much. Great show. I don't think it's gonna be tough to wrap up as people think it is. I think your hero and your nemesis kind of go out together in a blaze of glory, and then just kind of reset new team and leave the audience to kind of decide what happens with their futures from there. But
Yeah.
I don't think that he's wrong about, like, there is a graveyard of bad series finales, and we wish them the best of luck going forward with all that the season 5 of The Boys has to bring. I for one am definitely looking forward to it, but we'll be
At
sad.
least he's concerned with giving it a good ending as well. Sometimes I think they just want to get it done, so they write whatever pops into their head first.
Yeah, agreed. It is refreshing to see somebody who actually cares about how a show will be presented and just be definitely finish off. And you're 100% right that it is nice to see somebody who actually cares about the product and wants to do it right. I'd even take a delay on the season just to see it done properly. And speaking of people who may or may not care about how things turn out, we have a new head at Star Wars coming in. Dave Filoni is reportedly top candidate to co-run Star Wars after Kathleen Kennedy leaves. Current thinking is he is co-head Lucasfilm with exec Carrie Beck. Initial thoughts on Filoni being the guy to head Star Wars post
Prepare
Kathleen.
for everything Ahsoka, if this is true. He loves his own creations.
Yeah.
I can imagine him trying to greenlight a bunch of Clone Wars type era stuff. Which, like, that part of the universe has so much in it already. Yeah, I'm not keen for this.
No, agreed. I'm not loving this either. We'll have like another like 10-part Thrawn series, and Ezra Bridgers, and the girl who got stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber and still survived.
Sabine.
Sabine, not Reva, but Sabine. But I'm sure he probably had a hand in the Obi-Wan show as well.
Who's Carrie Beck?
Now, Carrie Beck, all I know is just one of the executives. I'll be honest, I didn't take too much of a look into who they are. I do think it's a wise decision to have him as a co-lead with an executive looking over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Granted, they don't have any type of their own agenda, but you couldn't have summed it up any better with, like, you're gonna have 100 Ahsoka shows and live action Star Wars Rebel shows, and the guy from CBC's Kim's Kitchen showing up again as the X-Wing Ranger guy. That's funny to Canadians. That's not funny to anybody else. But I'm not a fan of Filoni being the guy to go forward. A little dismayed, if you will, that Favreau's name wasn't thrown in there.
Yeah.
I thought he could have brought some balance to Filoni's work. Obviously, at least season 1, part of season 2, they worked together fairly well for Mando before Filoni kind of really sunk his teeth in. we were probably smoking copium the other week where we're saying, hey, maybe they'll throw some money at Gilroy and can do something to help Star
Yeah.
Wars. But
Hey, he might get future projects. That would be really nice.
I would take future projects. Now obviously we're not Dave Filoni. Could you see if there was some type of clause, let's say in a contract, where maybe they do have Gilroy signed on to do some stuff that we don't know about yet? Could you see if Filoni was head of Lucasfilm, him trying to possibly sync those projects before they get started?
It really depends. I don't think that it would be smart to try and get rid of Gilroy, just solely based off of the viewing numbers of Andor.
Now, I agree with you on that. It wouldn't be a smart move. Egos in Hollywood, on the other hand. Dave Filoni trying to recreate Star Wars in his own image. Again, 100% on board with you that it wouldn't be smart to lose Gilroy if he does have any future projects in the work. But man, like you said, Filoni likes his own creations, and I don't know where, if anybody else fits into that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd hate
it's
to
by Dave Filoni for Dave Filoni.
Yeah, exactly. I'd hate to see what would happen if like imagine like an Ahsoka or some guys from the Rebels showing up in the Andor series, because like the timeline was right, like,
Yeah, no thank you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So again, hopefully would you at least be in agreement then that's good to have an exec to keep a leash on him if that's what their plan is?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. 100% agree with you.
As long as they can reel him in and stop him from just telling stories with his own characters.
That's it. Do you think the Disney board of directors is smart enough to know the difference, or do you think they'll just be like?
I don't think they've watched their own content for some time now.
Agreed. I think he'd probably come in with a drawing or two, Grogu plushie, and they all be like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
Like, this is gonna make $100 million plus. It's only gonna cost us $10.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Disney board of directors needs to start doing a little bit of homework and Speaking of things, you were saying that cost $10 and they could charge $1 million more for it, and of course, coming into the world of Disney at that. Oh boy, everybody!
I'm keen to see what this looks like.
Oh, an LED light. 341 ounce popcorn Galactus head. Now, I think it was something like 13 by 17 by 20 inches deep. Like, it's a lot of popcorn, folks. And I think my first real memory of them starting to kind of come out with like the fancy custom popcorn buckets was when Ghostbusters Afterlife came out, and they had the Ecto One popcorn carrier. If anybody has one out there, care of Papa South, send it to my inbox. I desperately wanted to try to get one and never did.
Yeah, as you were saying, that's a lot of popcorn though.
That's a ton of popcorn, and $80 price tag. Like,
that'd probably cost over $100 in Australia if they do bring it out here.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that. And probably do it. Like if that is the American dollar, you're probably looking at about 130, 150 Canadian to get that now. Like, could you imagine going to the theater with like 4 kids and they all want one of those? Like,
Mm-mm.
man, like you're in for a $500 evening just on popcorn and treats before you're even in with your tickets there. Like, I know it's probably marketed towards the hardcore collector, but do you, do you think
They could have just done like a drink sleeve or something that's not as massive as a 140-ounce Galactus popcorn bucket. Because that is huge.
sorry, Papa Seth, I had a bit of a bug in the throat there. Like, yeah, that is like just redonkulous. You're gonna have to take the do a little song and dance, continue with it. Like,
Because, I mean, I don't really know how big 140 ounces is because we go grams here. But my assumption is it's going to be like at least the size of my head plus some. And it's an interesting looking design. I thought it would have been a darker purple, not this kind of fuchsia pink color.
oh, that's right. I think we were speaking about that last time when we had our first look at Galactus. He's feeling a little bright there. Thanks, sir. Kind of taking
Oh, that's okay.
the lead on there. Oh boy, but yeah, like I really honestly don't know who this is geared towards. Like that is a lot of popcorn. Again, I think you probably nailed it. It's probably about the size of your head, and it's it's not family affordable friendly, especially in this economy right now.
Yeah, let's just say you've got mum, dad, 3 kids. It's kind of hard for them to all eat out of the same popcorn bucket.
And
You
that's
get
it.
one kid one of those, and then they're all going to want one. And you're looking at a $600 trip to the cinema.
And even worse, if you do just wind up getting one, or let's say even 2, now you got the horns on the side of the head, and you're gonna have kids pulling it back and forth, popcorn jostling all over the place. It'll be a worse disaster than Chicken Jockey, I swear. Yeah, cool design. I'm calling this one a fail. How about yourself?
I don't see them selling the amount that they've made.
No. Or even worse, someone's gonna buy up like all of them in the theater and then put them on the eBay for like
Yeah.
$1,000 a piece. And speaking of things that don't necessarily work, this is just a real quick one here. Good Lord. Our Silver Surfer has eyeliner. Sorry, I just thought this was like might be tough for everybody to see depending on what your device is, but how you feeling about Silver Surfer with eyeliner?
I actually don't hate it. It adds a little bit more depth to her face.
Great point.
She's got a little bit of like dark lipstick on. It does make her look more feminine, but then again, we didn't need a female Silver Surfer to start off with.
Yeah, not gonna.
It does look better than the original images they brought out, I think.
Does look better. Not going to disagree with you on that. I'm just taking another look. You're right. It does add more definition to the face, which is definitely helpful compared to what we got before. I'm still not loving the hair. I guess I'm gonna have to see how it kind of flows in that as she does her surfing there. But yeah, I don't even know where a Silver Surfer goes in this galaxy to get herself some emo, as you said earlier, emo black lipstick and eyeliner. She's just a little upset at the world. Sorry, I just wanted to share that quick one right there. I don't have a whole lot else to say on that. But again, you're right. And I didn't really think about it. Oh, she even has eyebrows. How about
Yeah,
that?
I'm glad they didn't make her eyebrows dark.
Yeah. No, not horribly
You know what,
dark.
though? This does look like it's out of a video game cutscene.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you've said that,
They probably used Unreal Engine 5 or something like that to render this.
good old Unreal. Although Unreal does some good work, possibly not best used for um, some of the major motion films there.
Hmm.
And oh no, not last in the Twitter files. A couple more articles. Well, when Hollywood runs out of ideas, why not go back to our childhood and bring out something that we don't need to see? Live action Care Bears movies in the works.
No.
I know they're. So I guess that was my first question: was how you feeling about live action Care Bears?
Well, how are they going to make this live action, for one?
Do you know what my
Are they going to have people in giant Care Bear costumes? Or are they just going to animate them and have them in a real life setting?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna animate them like my biggest fear will come true, where it'll be like the Smurfs, like now the Care Bears are in Manhattan and they gotta turn all the grumpy New Yorkers into happy people before like the care meter goes down or whatever. And I hate it when like especially with like older things where they bring someone from the past and try to put them in like a modern day setting, and now it's
Yeah, like the
supposed.
pink Care Bear identifies as they, them because they have a rainbow across their stomach.
There you go. And that's oh man. And you know those articles are going to be coming out, and Grumpy Bear on Prozac, and so I don't even want to go. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. You're gonna have like pro-Palestinian bear and like anti-Elon Musk bear, and
Yeah.
uh, it's. I just see disaster written all
Yeah.
over this. Like, and it's sad. I find
Who is
that.
this made for? Is another good question.
I think they always try to do that blend of saying like it's made for you, the people who grew up with it, but it's kind of made for their kids who don't know
Yeah.
anything about it. And I really wish they would just leave this alone. Now that said, although it was a Disney movie, like maybe if they had the people who wrote the Christopher Robin movie
Mm.
work on it, where he's all grown up, but all the people from the characters from the 100 Acre Woods are now like with his daughter or whatever like that. You could have something kind of touching in that way that feels nostalgic properly, but man, I ain't feeling that at all on my end.
I'm just sick of live action.
Yeah,
I just want to see more animated stuff.
agreed. And as I was telling you, I started checking out that Bleach show. Not too bad. Enjoyed what I've seen so far. I'm gonna axe that article, and because we got to get moving along. Well, one of the biggest shockers to come in quite some time, coming from Marvel Comics. Marvel Comics introduces T'Challa's white son Katima as future Black Panther, King of Wakanda.
He's extraordinarily white as well.
Yeah, he's albino.
Yeah. He doesn't look very mixed raced at all.
No, he's got all of his genes from his mama, I guess. Good decision, bad decision.
It's a decision. I don't hate it, but they definitely could have gone with a Black Panther. to replace T'Challa.
Yeah. Um,
It's the
do you-
one place where they shouldn't have meddled with the races of characters.
Agreed. That said, do you think they've done that just for shock factor, hoping to sell a ton of comic
Yeah.
books?
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that. People are talking about it online, and maybe they're even hoping that someone like hates the idea so much that they're like, I don't want anyone to read this, so I'm gonna buy all the copies and burn them, which they wouldn't care just because they'll sell them at the door. Probably a question that doesn't need any answer, but what's the chances we see a version of this in the MCU or even a Black Panther variant that is white in the multiversal saga going forward?
I doubt they'd ever do anything like that.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if they did.
Yep.
Like a little Easter egg, there's the multiverse, and then you've got the White Panther.
You could always have the Pink Panther, right?
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we'll see it now. Like, I guess there's that counter argument where some people will be like, "Well, why is it okay when you swap out a white guy with a black dude, and we can't swap out a black dude with a white guy?" But I think, like you said, this is one that they probably should have left alone. But again, I'm going with they just did this for shock factor, and
I mean,
hoping-
there's characters in the Marvel movies that I didn't hate Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
No, he wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad Nick
Mm.
Fury.
There's very few examples of a good race swap like that.
Yeah. I know there was one for me that I was a big fan of.
Was it Gordon in
Gordon, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the Batman, Jeffrey Wright, fantastic Gordon. I don't think many other
what was
people.
it, the Daredevil movie where they swapped Kingpin?
Yeah,
I didn't hate that.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan, God rest his soul. He is dearly missed. He wasn't too bad. I still want to see like a real, even if they got a CG it up, I want to see like giant Kingpin, but
Yeah.
as it stands right now, no such luck. Guess we'll see how the Kingpin looks in that Spider Noir that's due out at the end of next year. I'd be excited to see that. But yeah, again, I think mostly shock factor, and that's what they were aiming for with that.
They're doing anything to sell physical books and copies now.
Yeah, 100%. And I know, compared to myself, you do a little bit more of the book reading than I do. And is this like something that would attract you to buy a Black Panther comic?
I usually I read all of the new stuff that comes out on the Marvel Unlimited app, and then if I really, really liked it, I'll go out of my way to try and find a physical copy. Just to put on my bookshelf as, I really liked that.
Fair enough. And then never touch it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough. All right.
Also, manga. Manga is so much cheaper to collect than physical comic books.
Yeah, no doubt of that. No doubt of that. I'll be honest, I haven't done a lot of manga reading. I got into the IDW comic books for quite some time. Like a lot of the IPs that they have control of. They had some good series. I don't know why, as a company, that they continuously struggle, but if you're interested in some of the IPs you grew up with, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Street Fighter, Sonic, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, IDW is for you. Getting to the gaming world, we had a couple of game trailers come out this week, or at least little pieces of game trailers. Papa South has not gamed in a while. The first one, though, that I'm gonna show, it's not really a full-blown trailer, a little just bit of gameplay. These are the type of things that tell Papa South it is totally worth it to blow $1,000 just to buy one game. So Let's go back here.
よし本気でやるぞくらえわかるよ耐えてみせろ
任せてちょうだい。よし私の名前の通りマーベラス。
親愛なるスパイダーマンだスパイリースレン今日も見事大勝利
Right off the bat, I am loving it. Loving it.
調子が出てきたぜ俺様の名はスターロー胸に刻んでおきだ
Big missed opportunity not putting this on the new Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. As
Because
somebody,
these type of games I always play on a console. It's not a... Won't get the PC running for something like this.
yeah, I guess not. Yeah, definitely more of a console game. As someone who, I know I was talking about Mortal Kombat earlier. I grew up popping a lot of quarters into Street Fighter. Eventually, we got Marvel versus Capcom. This is the type of thing I could play all day, and especially with this anime type style version of these characters, like this is
Hours of fun.
yeah, hours of fun, hours of button mashing. Like I could see blowing a lot of money just to get that game in particular.
But yeah, huge missed opportunity not bringing that out on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Because there's a huge audience for the Switch that play those type of fighting games.
and also I know it's not out yet, but I did see pictures where I guess Xbox has their own kind of handheld Switch kind of thingy coming out within the next year. But giant missed opportunity. Do you think this game's going to do bank anyways, regardless of it being on Switch?
Yeah.
And just,
It looks like it'd be a good amount of fun. Enough people have the PS5 now that I don't think they have anything to worry about.
yeah, 100%. How you loving the anime styled
Yeah, that
Marvel?
looked good.
Yeah, gameplay.
Like, not really my type of game, but it does look fun.
Fair enough. As a PC gamer, I don't know much about PC gaming. Like my experience has always been more console. Something that would not run smoothly on a PC.
Oh no, it would run perfectly fine on a PC, but it's one of those games where you want to have the controller in your hand and play it like that. I mean, you could always hook your controller up to the PC.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a, you have a couple of friends over, get some beers, hand the controllers out, and just go for it.
Start chucking the controllers at the screen when it's like it's broken, it's not working right. Yeah. Use one of your words, Papa South, keen on that game. Just yeah, I'd be all over that, like you wouldn't believe. I see it doing really, really well, and again, that's something I can see myself spending some big bucks on and moving along. Here's one actually our good friend Neon Tardis shared earlier in the week. It's our first look at
Superiors all praises
the 007.
Mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority. Same thing in the Navy.
His superiors all praise his instincts.
And they're all in need of early retirement. Nobody knows what to do with him, Mom.
No, and I suspect he feels the same way. But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination. It was ill-disciplined, utterly reckless. He only survived thanks to blind luck. Give me one good reason to put him in the program, Mom.
I think you just covered them all, Greenway. It's really quite simple. Bond is a bullet without a target. Let's give him one.
Do you have an appointment?
The name's Bond.
James Bond. He's with me.
And you are? Don't think we've had the pleasure.
Now let's not get ahead of ourselves, James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the utmost delicacy. I need all my pieces on the board.
009 is a master manipulator. Whatever the endgame is, we won't see it coming.
Jet lag. Gets me every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
Tell me, what do you do, James?
Lately, headhunting.
All right.
There was very little actual gameplay in that trailer.
I noticed that. I think it's like saw a couple things where like shot the gun once or twice, a little sneaking and crouching, kind of
Driving
like,
a car.
yeah, kind of just looked like another iteration of Hitman slash oh,
Kind
that,
of like Uncharted.
thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
You really think like they could have just slapped any franchise name on this and
Yeah.
yeah.
That was very generic.
Yeah.
Also a very diverse looking MI6.
Yeah, Neon TARDIS definitely commented on that earlier, and don't forget to check us out tomorrow morning, 4:15 a.m. It's going to be bright and early, folks, but should be a good one. I don't think anything will ever touch the N64 GoldenEye game as far as the Bond experience goes.
That was a
but
fantastic game.
if I could tell you the hours at school that I skipped to play that and have a little puff with my friends, and had one of those big 50-inch box TVs, so we all got our own little corner. It's some of the best times. I like I said, don't think that could ever be touched again for sure. And maybe we're both longing for yesteryear, how things are different, but I could, as someone who isn't really game, I could leave it or take it.
Yeah, I probably won't be playing that one.
Definitely not an Elder Scroll type of PC type of game, that's for sure. Don't forget, folks, our good friend Brass Lantern working on her game in the computer. Maybe in another month she's going to start streaming some Elder Scroll, so we'll definitely be plugging that. If anybody knows their Elder Scroll, it's a good friend, Brass Lantern right here, and make sure you check that out once she starts to get going. I'm going to move on to a couple of movie trailers, and then we're going to get to the actual watch party part of the show. So we had a new trailer for Superman. So they're selling tickets. Tickets went on sale. We all know F4, Fantastic Four. Their tickets went on sale this week. Crashed all sorts of internet apps and stuff. Ticket sales so far looking very high for Superman. Just hasn't crashed any website. So just want to do a quick trailer review of this one real quickly. And whoa. Oh, this was not the trailer.
I was sent here to help the world be a better place. That is why I do what I do.
Rated PG-13. Only in theaters July 11.
Well, Papa Seth didn't even pull up the right trailer for that one, so that was more of a quick teaser. Tickets are on sale for Superman, everybody. Go and check it out. Apologize, didn't have quite the right trailer for that. Still looking to be a little more hyped for it than what I was feeling last time we spoke about it. So we're just going to move that one right along because, well, again, Papa South didn't have the right trailer. This, however... yeah. First look at Wicked for Good, the follow-up to our little Wizard of Oz with Ariana Grande.
There's no going back. This is between us, the wizard, and I.
The Wicked Witch can't elude us forever.
Jesus, got that Michael Bay music in the background.
Totally does. I say give me Judy Garland any day. Like, I do realize this is a prequel.
Wonderful Wizard of Oz. No one believed in you more than I did.
Ariana Grande has lost so much weight as these movies have gone on.
The magic of Ozempic.
She actually looks unwell.
I'm gonna agree 100%. And I've seen some pictures of her lately with with it all the get up going on, and she looks like she should be in rehab for anorexia. Oh boy, we know how this one's gonna turn out. I don't know about yourself. There's something, at least when you're doing something like The Wizard of Oz, although probably the people who wrote the music for it are probably all long and gone at this point, but I want music that feels like the original movie, not like a full-on production, if that makes any sense.
Is that Jeff Goldblum?
Oh, I hope it's not.
It's time for both of us.
I want to see people in monkey suits, and
You're the only friend I ever had.
You know, how it kind of sounds like a big theater production, like you're seeing it in person, in a seat.
Yeah. Oh, please don't be holding hands and make out at the end of this thing. Just don't.
I'm off to see the wizard.
Oh, how clever is that? Man, like, I know we touched base earlier about the T'Challa's son being white. But man, like, when I think of the Wicked Witch of the West, I think of this old scrawny kind of white lady with like a pointy nose and all that. There's nothing about this trailer. I never did see the last one they made, but
Either did I. It's not really the kind of movie I go out of my way to watch.
100%. Now, I'm gonna stereotype you for a second, right? Because I know you like the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, right? Where it has some more fantastical aspects, like they would, but I know, totally different type of story, plot, whole deal. Visually, there's parts of it that look all right, but man, maybe like I said earlier, longing for yesteryear. I want something that feels a little more like the Judy Garland version. Hit or a miss?
Oh, it's gonna be a hit.
Yeah. sadly, I'm gonna have to agree with you. It's
There's millions of Ariana Grande fans out there that'll go and see this just because she's in it.
Yeah, and Ozempic will get great dividends from this movie. I have no doubt about that. 2 trailers ago, and then we're going into the actual watch party. Excited to see this one. I really, really wanted to watch it throughout the week, but like I said, I want to go in fresh with some of these trailers here. And it's our very first like full-length trailer for Alien Earth. I remember saying not necessarily your cup of tea. Aliens growing up wasn't huge for me, probably because I was a little more of a wimp and got scared easy, but Romulus really changed my mind about the franchise. So without further ado, the Alien Earth TV series coming to a TV near you.
Very. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's our girl?
She's ready.
You're going to be the first person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Because I'm special.
That's right. You're very, very special.
We have a downed spacecraft.
I want what's on that ship.
We can do it. We're fast. We're strong. We don't break.
It's like a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe. Monsters.
Invasive species. Predatory.
If we don't lock them down, it will be too late.
Well, the stakes are definitely there.
Absolutely. Going straight to Hulu, Disney Plus, I think that's a win. Don't have to leave your home, pay an exuberant amount at the theater. Thought the effects looked good. I know not necessarily your cup of tea, something you might check out.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, good. Anything with Timothy Olyphant, I'll definitely take a look at. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about just because I've read stuff about it, about transferring like a 12-year-old girl's soul or whatever you want to call it into a synthetic, but didn't look like too overpowering of a strong female woman character. But I think this will probably
It works if it's like an android. They can have super strength. There's a reason why she's able to overpower other people.
Yeah, exactly. I think this will definitely at least be full of those little kind of like jumpies and stuff. Like don't necessarily watch it in the dark. You think? Do you think that with the success of Romulus, do you think the Alien franchise still has it in it to be putting out hits, or do you think this is just like a very slow sinking ship?
Well, they hadn't brought out anything noteworthy for quite some time.
Yeah.
They could definitely be changing their ways and moving forward. Doing these, Disney Hulu releases is probably a good thing for them.
I'd agree.
Build the hype back up and then maybe do something as a cinema release.
Yep. I think I think at least for fans of the original series, might wind up being upset with this is that apparently this takes place before the first one with Sigourney Weaver, and then they're gonna be like, oh, how come we didn't know about all this stuff? She was
Kind of
around.
retcons a bunch of the original movies, doesn't it?
Definitely does. Now, if the incidents, because this is taking place on Earth, are isolated, and like the android teams, like like little Men in Black type team that can keep it isolated from the mass of the population, maybe that works. But yeah, just I want to share that with you. I personally think it'll do well again, just because it's on a streaming service and not in the theater.
Yeah.
Now, what they do need is like $100 alien head popcorn bucket you can get with it.
Yeah, big xenomorph that you can.
The tongue could
500 ounces
butter
of popcorn.
dispenser. For sure. And for those people who are really lazy, the face hugger that has the popcorn already in it, you can just
you just eat it.
Fair enough. Now, last trailer before we get to our watch party here. So for anybody that needs to queue up Hulu and or Disney Plus, you might want to think about doing that now. Get it to the point where you just have to hit play. But 38 years later,
28?
28.
Are we talking about zombie movie?
No, I am not talking about.
Never mind.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I get where you're going with that. No,
that is a movie I'm really excited for.
That's the Cillian Murphy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I have not seen the predecessors to that movie. I've heard great things, and maybe I'll take it on a recommendation from a good friend.
It's impossible to find 28 Days Later on any streaming service, so you're probably going to have to go to a secondhand kind of DVD store and pick it up if you really want to give it a watch.
That said, if anyone's actually ever looking for something they're finding it difficult to find, I'll definitely check it out. If you Google whatever movie and put Internet Archive, there is a great little website. I believe it's called Internet Archive. They don't have everything, but they got a lot. And then Papa says looking for something that he just can't find anywhere else. That's my go-to for that. Remind me this week. I found a copy, English copy of Ninja Scrolls that I'll send you a link for. I think you might enjoy that. It's one of the classic animes I grew up with. But for this one, 38 years in the making. Hope everybody's got their specs on. It might be a little difficult to read, but you should get a pretty good chuckle out of this here. A good friend of ours, Script Trooper, shared this from the original link. So, Script Trooper, if you're out there, he's got a great little channel we're checking out. Thank you for queuing this one up. The trackpad is going to be so much easier.
after 40 years. We asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Oh boy. I don't know if you were able to read the crawl as it was going by.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for some chuckles out of that. I'm sure for the few that are still left watching us tonight that we got some chuckles back there. Spaceballs definitely a classic. I've seen that movie more times than I can count. Great news: Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement to reprise his role as Dark Helmet. We're getting the return of Bill Pullman as Lone Star, the return of Mel Brooks as Yogurt, and yeah, I think Mel Brooks comes from a different time, where I think this has the potential to still feel very much like a movie that we grew up with in the 80s, and looking forward to that. I'd ask you if it's going to be a hit or
The
a miss.
trailer looked fun.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking beforehand. I know you said if you've seen it, it's been a lot of years. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I think I was very, very little when I saw it.
Definitely worth a rewatch.
Giving it a rewatch.
Yeah, it's just good 80s silly fun, and again, I do feel like this has the potential to recapture that feeling. All right, that said, the long-awaited Predator Killer of Killers watch along. Again, make sure everybody got your Hulu or Disney Plus queued up to the point where you're ready to hit play. And what's going to be the best way for me to do this? Let's let Papa South here kind of mess around with some screens, and maybe I can do that. And there we go. All right. Are you all ready, Brass Lantern?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's hope I haven't done this before. I'm pretty sure volume should come through okay. Again, obviously we can't put the actual film on the screen, or they're gonna just yank the channel altogether.
Yeah.
But for everybody watching, enjoy, and Brass Lantern, enjoy as well. And you got a comment or anything as it goes along, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So before we go, we'll do a 1, 2, 3 play. So play would be 4. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3 play. Should have got a Predator head popcorn bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, I already like this animation style.
Yeah, it's looking good. Apparently, they cut down on the frame rate to give it kind of like that kind of a little bit of that kind of a choppy special look.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever played Borderlands, but it looks kind of like that.
Have not played it, but I do know of it.
Yeah.
Nice. Initial thoughts, yeah, definitely liking, like you said, the animation style, and
Yeah, it's gritty, but not too gritty. No, he's not going to survive that.
He won't have a leg to stand on after this. See, I'd watch Clone Wars if it was like this.
Mm. I'm digging the score to this so far as well. Yeah, that sounds really nice.
Wow.
Mm. Oh, I liked the effect that had.
Yeah. Really loving this animation style.
Mm. Yeah, the score's really good too, as you were saying.
Yeah, it definitely changed the feel of how any type of movie, not just an animated movie, feels. Like they could have gone with like some techno pop or something that just would have killed it right away. Really well done.
Mm.
Joe coming into his own. And they put a lot of thought into this fight sequence.
Yeah. Which it's possible to do when you do animation.
Great point. And I know we were discussing that last week about like the possibilities compared to doing a live action version of something.
Mm.
Well done. I'm glad they didn't shy away from any of this for the franchise.
Yeah.
Like a Viking predator?
He's massive.
Yeah, huge. It's like he's missing the hand, yeah, and he's got like some
Yeah.
crazy.
It's got like an implant there.
I like it. Love how he has to kind of like jack it up or whatever before he gives the punch.
It's like he doesn't have the most recent tech.
Yeah.
It's probably been around for a while. Fought lots of battles.
Just like good morning back to you, Neon TARDIS. Looking forward to hooking up with you later. Appreciate the congrats on the 200 subs. Hope you're having an excellent morning, and we're about quarter to 1 in the morning here in Canada, and hoping you have a great day ahead. Thanks for popping in, brother.
And we're about 15 minutes into the film if you want to join.
Absolutely. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you call it cinematography for animation, but like camera angles and such, really well thought out.
Yeah, they definitely have to be well planned, otherwise they look really, I don't know, they don't make sense. But that was really good. And the way that sounded, that underwater scene too, that was really
Yep.
good. He's gonna die.
Yeah. And he's gonna put the blood on her face like her father did.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like some future world that they just kind of finished off in?
I think she was seeing what she wanted to see. Like she'd been captured as a prisoner. Well, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Never mind. Only one can survive.
It's like with the Joker with the pole cue. We're having tryouts.
That's what happens when you have two sons instead of one boy and one girl.
There you go. They should have made it instead of the helmet, the Galactus popcorn bucket. Nice.
Oh, it's a different type of predator. We had the big Viking one, and now we've got the
Ninja Predator.
the lanky guy.
This has gotten rave reviews all week. People have been loving it. I can see why.
I like that they've been showing the predators doing a lot of observing before they start to attack anyone.
Yep. Definitely.
Because that's what they do.
Yeah, it's a lot more hunter after its prey, not just going out there and just to be a spectacle. So I'm assuming that's the other brother that ran away. Someone really thought these fight scenes through as well.
Yeah. That was actually kind of funny. You put so much effort into not making any sound, and then someone just saw the whole fight from a different watchtower.
I wonder if
Yeah,
the
there's
two.
just been a. Oh, you go.
I was gonna say it's like I'm assuming that is the other brother, so I'm wondering
Yeah, the
if
one
it's
that
like
didn't run.
yeah, I'm wondering if it's like the two of them are gonna have to take on the predator.
Yeah, I could see that happening. they've just put a lot of thought into like the backgrounds, what the characters are wearing,
For
just what they
sure.
generally look like. The
But
lighting,
you
it all looks awesome.
and you are our costume expert for sure. Even if it's animated, it still makes sense, right? So
Mm-hmm.
and for anybody that's seen the original, they still got tones of the original theme song from it, which I'm totally
Mm-hmm.
digging. And again, Lucas films, I think you'd learn a lot from even just the way they choreograph these the fights in the animation.
Mm-hmm. Well, now he's going to have to fight him alone.
The OGs are already always worth a while catching up on Great Point TARDIS. Nice.
Yeah, not really much you can do against that.
And I do like the different character designs, like you alluded to earlier. Different character designs for the different predators and the timeline so far. Wow.
Mm.
Love the sound of that tile as he's sliding against it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, brother's back.
Hope you're having a good day out there.
Smart.
Nice. Well done.
Mm. There was only like maybe 20 lines of dialogue in this whole little short bit, and they were able to portray so much emotion with just facial expressions.
Absolutely. Great point. You have a good eye for theater, Lantern. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. No, for real, like what they are able to portray with so little said. And like combination of music and just how the show going from enemy to a common ground. And so same thing on his neck as the last person that's still in the corner there.
Mm-hmm. That was a great transition as well.
I do like the fact that there seems to be some like theme of family in this so far.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone can always find a little piece out of each one that they can relate to a little bit. Hmm.
What's the bet they think it's Japanese technology?
Hmm. Great point. It's like some Area 51 type stuff here.
Mm. It's like me going to work in the morning.
Love it. Pilot
Mm.
Predator.
I like the weapon he's using as well. That's really cool.
Wow.
Mm.
And they really have found a way to make some like timeline appropriate tech for each of them.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious he went out there without his parachute on. Even though he had one, it was given to him in the beginning.
This is true. This is what my mom would call MCU music.
Mm.
You gotta pop out of the water.
Hmm.
Or maybe not.
Crop circle.
Mm-mm. You're gonna be the next one in the jail because they're collecting all the people that beat them.
Mm.
Looks like the jail from the original Star Wars on the Death Star.
It's funny, out of the three that are there, he's probably the least capable physical fighter.
Yeah. That would be the gun from Predator 2 and from Predator Prey. There's a little Easter egg there. Hmm.
Well, that's lucky for him, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't have green blood like everybody else. They're going to push him off to the side. He'll get into the jet and fly him to safety.
It would be an interesting twist if they were actually on Earth and they had just been kept in like stasis pods for I don't know, a really long time.
That would be a great twist.
The only humans left. Oh, that's his sword arm.
Oh. That's definitely his sword arm.
Mm. Geez, I got a lot of humans stored there.
It's the one from Prey.
That was really good.
Yeah, rather enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you enjoyed that because I remember when we first started speaking about it and then kind of showed you the trailer and you're just like, I think I could be into this. And
Mm.
well done.
Yeah, I loved the animation for that. That was really good. Great storytelling.
100%. It was great storytelling. And to your point earlier, without even having to say a whole lot, although like obviously there was more dialogue by the end of it,
Mm.
they told it more through music, more through just through the animation itself.
Yeah, it was good voice acting as well.
Do you know what? Great point. Great point. Was really, really good voice acting. So it's like
I can
there's
see them making another one of this easily.
and especially with the reviews it's gotten so far.
Mm.
Yeah, I definitely see a sequel coming out of this.
Open-ended enough that they've got something to work from as well.
Yep. And top off all sorts of time periods, they can still
Yeah, well,
still
they had that
visit.
whole room of people to choose from.
Exactly. Right. You could do a medieval one, Western one. You know what?
Was it
They can.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in the original?
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the original.
Okay.
Part 2 was Danny Glover.
Because it'd be funny seeing, like, you know, an animated version of Schwarzenegger because they managed to pick him up from somewhere.
I would definitely be down for that. It's funny because, like, in my head, all I can picture is like all the different comedians over the years that have done like Arnold voices. But,
Yeah. Trying to find the perfect
yeah.
Arnold voice actor.
That said, he's still kicking, and for the right coin.
I'm sure he'd do a little bit of recording for it if they ever offered him some money.
Yeah, 100%. And it might even be enough to like have like a follow up to this coming to the theater. So, but to our conversation the other week, you're just so incredibly right about, like, there's just so much more you can do with animation compared to live action.
Yeah, you're just not limited as much as what you are with real actors, and you'd have to build all the props, scenes, costumes, everything.
Yeah. Let alone feed them power for the set.
Yeah.
Because deal with agents and insurance, right? Like just insurance alone is a huge one. It definitely
Really enjoyed that.
and I enjoyed you watching that with me. Definitely had a lot of fun with that. Great score to the movie as well. And each bit was just short enough, or just like timed perfectly, where like you didn't get bogged down and start to lose interest in what was happening in the story. You're gonna cut off each one at the right point. I had no idea that that they were gonna converge, and even I enjoyed the Predator homeworld just for what they showed of it. And yeah, we'll see what all those hunters get up to. So it's like that. Is there a post credit? Is there a post credit? I have no idea.
Oh, I paused it.
You
No,
probably
it doesn't look like there is.
No, you got like the little slider thing going there where you can.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm just gonna kill that screen then. There we go. Expand this one again just a little. Look at that. We made it through a watch party. And I do appreciate the people that have stuck around with us for it. Hopefully you guys all had a little Hulu or Disney Plus, so you were able to watch it. And some Papa shades are off at this point of the evening. Yeah, this obviously concludes the watch party section of the stream. Favorite parts? Anything to?
My favorite part was definitely the Samurai brothers.
Yeah,
they told such a good story with such minimal lines and dialogue.
Absolutely. Again, I also love the tech appropriate predators for the time periods. I thought it was really, really well done. I can agree with you 100%. Like the samurai ninja predator time period was definitely my favorite. Yeah, usually
there was like little bits from the Viking time period where I'm like, oh, I can see why this worked. Her falling into the ice water.
Yep.
That's probably why the predator couldn't spot her and find her.
Exactly. And although like let's say like the third act, we'll call it the World War II act, I did kind of feel was like the weakest out of the three. Still really well done. And and it was one of those like you're at least still gave you the sense that you were rooting for him. You're rooting for the boy, you know? So definitely just overall, the aviation animation was smooth as well. whether it be the airplanes themselves or the Predator ships. Sound production was amazing. Score, everything. Just
Yeah.
it was a real treat to watch that. And again, appreciate you being up for a watch party with that.
I
And
was happy to watch it. That was really good. Best thing
stuff.
I've watched on Disney Plus in a while.
Nice. And we'll tell you what, for the next watch party, we'll let you pick the film and have a little surprise with that. Anything going on for the rest of the week with you?
No. Save some money, do some work. Get that computer purchase.
Yeah, I was just about to say, get that computer purchase.
Mhm.
Good for you, and it will get there. And again, we
Mm.
look forward to your streaming once you get that going as well. As for myself, in about 2 hours, be prepping to be on with Neon TARDIS and the crew there, and excited.
Get some caffeine into you.
Definitely, it's been a good. I bet it's almost been a month since I've been on there, and there we go. Got a little Neon TARDIS smiling. We'll see you in a couple hours, brother.
Yeah, I'll be in the chat of that.
And
hanging out.
I might be clicking that link last minute because I need to get some coffee in me, but I'll be clicking on it for sure. And definitely look forward to everybody showing up there as well. Look forward to seeing you there as well, Brass Lantern. And yeah, we'll see what when we reconverge in 2 weeks, and hopefully everyone enjoyed the new intro video. We got the slightly different, but not too different of an outro video, and yeah, I guess from all of us here, from podcast Patti, the Resonator, Technotions, Brass Lantern, links are in the description below. We always appreciate everybody's work, and we're at 200 subs, so awesome news as well. We're just going to keep on growing. I think we got a good community of followers and viewers, and just people that put so much into making this show fantastic. And much love back at you, brother, and like I said, we'll be seeing you soon enough. So from all of us here at the Papa South podcast and
the Brass Lantern broadcast,
wish you safe journey, safe passage, and wherever you may be coming from, maybe going to. It's too late at night for me to even run through that properly. But yeah, thanks for everybody showing up, and we look forward to seeing everybody in 2 weeks, and look forward to seeing everybody in a couple hours on the Neon TARDIS. Ciao for now, everybody. Podcast Pad. Technotions. The Resonator. Brass Lantern.
Papa South.